Ben and he'll be filming. This is my grandma, my mom, my dad, and my grandpa.
I look awful, don't I? I haven't taken a shower yet today.
Tennis is a sport that's becoming more and more popular every year. It is a lifetime sport, and people can compete their whole life depending on when they learn it at different levels. It can be picked up pretty quickly, but it takes a long time to get good. I started playing my junior year of high school, and I played top on varsity for 2 years. If you're going to become good, there are 4 skills you have to get at: a forehand, a flat shot, a serve, a volley, and a backhand. Once these skills are learned, then you can apply topspin, slice, backspin, and a flat aggressive shot to them. And there's also a lot of strategy once you get good. So first, I'm going to teach you how to do a forehand. So for a forehand, if you want to use a topspin forehand, which is the most common shot in tennis, you use a closed grip and you swing through the ball, and you have to like open stance, which is what I use. Use open stance and you go back, and you hold hips back, and you swing through. You want to keep a straight arm as much as possible, and you swing through it. And then with the forehand, you also hit a flat shot in which you have a more open grip, and this is more of an aggressive shot. You only use this when you have a short ball or when you want to get the other person off their feet. So use more of an open grip, and you come more on top of the ball, so you can hit it down flat and you're not spinning it up like a topspin. There's also a slice, which is the usual. It's more of a defensive shot, or if you're going to come to the net, you'll slice. You can use this when you're on a run. You don't have to have your feet set for this. So when you use a slice, you keep your arms straight and you cut through the ball. Instead of where a topspin is the ball is spinning down, so it keeps it in the court. And a flat shot is no spin at all, so it's hard to keep it in. Slice is more of a side spin. It takes the pace off the ball, so the other opponent has to create all the pace in the shot. So it's kind of slicing it. And then there's also a drop shot, whereas you're taking all the pace off the ball completely and putting backspin on it. That's used for a winner. And the way you do that is you're kind of carving the ball. Kind of go under it like that. You kind of go under it and take all the pace off of it, and when it goes over net, it'll just die. And that shot's used only if you're in a position to hit a winner. For backhands, it's a little more complicated. There's a two-handed and a one-handed backhand. For one-handed backhand, which is less common, you have to completely sideways, and you just do one hand, and you swing through. You have to keep your eye on the ball completely, and I'm not going to talk about that as much because I don't know how to do it very well. But for a two-handed, you whenever I hit, no matter what shot you're hitting, you keep your right arm straight, and you're usually just using your offhand, to my left hand, to guide the ball. So it's kind of just like forehand with this. You just place it on, and then for a topspin, you close it like you do with the forehand, and you swing through it. And for the backhand, it's really important to use your hips, same as with your body. So what you teach a lot of times is you just have to put the racket like this, and you just swing like that, in order to make sure that your whole body, especially your hips, is moving all as one. So when you go like this, and you switch in a shot, and that's how you can get pace on the ball. And it's also important to get the ball in the hitting zone, which is a little separate from your body. So you hit your a little bit, get more power. Difference for a backhand is that when you hit a slice, regardless of if you use one hand or two hand, you only use a one-handed for a slice. And you keep your elbow hitched at about a 90-degree angle, and you don't move that. So it's kind of just like slicing. So it's going across the ball and not over it. So then, like the forehand, the slice is a completely defensive shot, which you can hit on the run because you don't need as much setup time, and it'll take all the pace off the ball. And then for a flat shot for backhand, it's more difficult. You have to keep the racket up the whole time, and you have to hit down on it. So it's about getting correct space from the ball. It's important to use your feet really well. It's probably, backhand is one of the more difficult things to learn in tennis. It comes less naturally in a forehand. Once you've learned a backhand and a forehand, you have to learn how to volley and serve. For a serve, it's probably widely regarded as the most difficult thing to learn in tennis. It's all about rhythm And if you don't have a serve, you really just don't really have a chance to be that great at tennis, as brutally honest as that sounds. It's all about rhythm and having your whole body move in sync. And it's as much about hitting it as it is about the toss. For a toss, you want to keep the ball out in front of you, so like that. And if you don't have a good toss, then you can't, your serve is very limited. And then you want your whole body to move as one. So you toss it up, and then you want your whole body to come forward as once. So you come back, and you want to hit the ball at the top point, so you can come down on it more. That's more for a first serve. For a second serve, there's a few different things to do. You can slice it, but you come across it like that, or you can do a kick serve. And for a kick serve, you throw the ball completely directly over your head, and then hit up on it. You hit up on the ball, and the ball will drop in the service box and kick up, making the person have a high ball, which is more difficult to be aggressive on. Serving, for first serves, it's good to have about a 60% success rate, so then you can keep your opponent off guard. For tennis, if you're holding serve is kind of the basis. If you break serve in a set, you should be able to win the set if you win a game off service. So having a good serve is very important. Once you learn how to serve, slicing is important. Volleying. Volleying is when you go up to the net and hit shots before the ball touches the ground. For volleying, you need to get up to the net and you have to have your feet set when you hit a volley and the racket out in front of you. And then for a forehand volley, you kind of just punch it, arms out in front of you. And you can either hit a deep volley or you can hit a drop shot volley. A deep volley, you just kind of punch the ball straight forward. And for a drop shot volley, you just kind of cut under it. This will take the pace off the ball and be more difficult. And backhand, it's the same way. You only use one hand and you just kind of like step out and hit a punch. A strategy in tennis, let's use a lot of the serve and volley, where if you have a good enough serve and you hit a serve, you can just come in and hit a volley straight off of it. It's more difficult to do, but it can be successful for players, especially on grass. Once you learn how to play tennis, you also have to learn that there's 3 separate surfaces in tennis: grass, hard, and clay. Hard court is good for big hitters. The ball will bounce pretty high and skip off the court pretty quickly. So if you have a big serve and a big forehand, you have advantage in hard court. Whereas clay, the ball will bounce higher, and so people who are really good defensively, such as Rafael Nadal, will be able to get to more balls and play more defense. Grass is better for players like Roger Federer, who can slice the ball really well and have more precision on their shots. The ball stays lower, so if you have more of a chippy game, then you'll have more success on grass. In conclusion, tennis is a game that can be picked up at any age. Once you get it, you can play it for your whole lifetime, and it's pretty easy to pick up. It's a good sport where you can play with a lot of people, or you can just play by yourself. So